like the sun. I thought it was rather fascinating that in the opening statements it was making reference to summer solstice, we're celebrating here, and then also winter solstice, that's being celebrated on the other side, down below of the earth, simultaneously. We tend to think linearly. But we're starting to discover that linear thinking just doesn't do it anymore. So we're having to expand our way of perceiving who we are, where we are, and what's up. So, take your seatbelts off. I want you to be free floating today. How does that sound? If you need to, just grab a hold of your chair so if you go, it goes with you. Okay, so you know when you make an important choice, you're actually choosing between two possible futures. So when you choose one, the other one is gone, right? So let go of your chair. Okay, so what about that alternative future? Does it exist as well? Could it exist in a parallel world? And could it be being lived by another part of you? Okay, there's a theory that's called the many worlds theory. And it basically says that whenever a choice is made, the universe splits and allows for both choices to be lived out. If this gets to be too much, too bad. If you shut down, try to open yourself back up. I realize all of this is, in many ways, unusual, strange. But let's consider now the possibility of parallel worlds existing. Okay? You know, the universe, even when you look out into the starry sky at night, it is so vast that it's beyond our comprehension to fully embrace it. We recognize maybe certain stars, certain planets, maybe the moon's out there, and we say, oh yeah, I'm here, it's cool, everything is fine. And we're only seeing such a minute part of what is visibly present. So, let's consider this now, so far as what do parallel lives mean in the development of our consciousness. Please do understand that parallel lives do not exist independently of each other. They all belong to you. They all belong to me. So then we get into a thing called time. And instead of looking at it in a linear fashion, let's look at it in another fashion, like a spiral. So that instead of saying timelines, we shift, and in our shifting we open up to time spirals. To where we are involved in actually living our lives in a spiraling motion instead of in a straight line motion. We human beings, we're traveling along one possible road through time. So consider that this time spiral that we're living in our current lifetime is just that. It's one of these. So what happens when you get to a place of making a major decision in your life? Let's say that you have, well, before we say let's say you have, how many of you have ever found yourself at a place in your life where you made an important decision that was a really emotionally charged decision? So we've all been there, right? Okay. So when we finally did it, we got up the whatever it was, and we made that choice. There was this split which occurred. We pursued that choice, and then the other one simultaneously is being lived out. Now, we think of ourselves as maybe a little bit multidimensional, but that has more room to grow. Consider for a moment that we are one aspect in manifestation of a larger one of us called soul. And that soul, through us, lives out a particular path where the object is to grow. Simultaneously, that other choice we didn't make is being lived out by soul and is experiencing whatever lies along that spiral also. Just fascinating? Getting your attention? Good, good. So, here we are. We're involved in living multidimensionally. That now is stirring us, stimulating us to become more consciously aware of the more of us that is simultaneously living to bring about an overall effect instead of just a very limited effect. You see, we think we're living when we're awake. And when we're asleep, we're not so sure. When we wake up, the first thing we try to do is remember who we were so we can go on. Well, imagine that simply is an expression of our limited perception of what's really happening, because everybody knows that while you're asleep, you're still alive. Many times that aliveness reveals itself in dreams, of which we usually only catch a fragment of. Unless it's a really important dream that really gets our attention, we have it pass through the filters of our perception, and we're trying to relate it to what we are living now. So, now let's look at the plane upon which all of this is happening. Earth. It's not just a plane. It's a multi-dimensional house. It's got many rooms. It affords us many opportunities. From the perspective of the soul, the earth is a multi-layered realm of experience. It's a field of endless opportunities in which the human can explore itself. I know, we get it so set that what I need to do is I need to get a good job, I need to get a good partner, I need to get a good place to live, I need to have lots of money, and I need to be able to be really, really, really happy. Yeah. And does that happen? Once in a while. We strive for it, but look at all the things that we experience. You see, this is what this is really all about, is the experiences we have that then give us the opportunity to greater appreciate who we are. Well, think about it now. Open yourself to it now. What if what we're expressing here in conversation really is a revelation as to the more of us that is simultaneously living, so that what we learn becomes a composite instead of just a singular expression of experience. So the next time we have a memorial service, we'll say, wow! We saw a small fragment of that person's experience. Just consider the more of what they were actually living. So this is being shared with you today, so you don't have to croak to get there. You can start opening up and experiencing it now. From a spiritual perspective, matter is created for the human spirit to explore itself in all its endless facets. facets. The goal is experiencing itself in the material world to become aware of its inner potential. I think some of you have heard of Goethe. Goethe? Okay. Philosopher. He had some interesting perspectives on life. And one that I want to share with you today that has relevance to this is that it is the working within limits that the master reveals himself. We come into this experience and we say, wow, look at that bird fly. God, I'd love to be able to fly like that. Wow, look at that dolphin swim. I'd love to be able to swim like that. We say, I'd rather just be able to be free, boundless, and able to experience it all. Well, what if the limitations we encounter are designed to bring out certain qualities that we would never discover and expand upon if it weren't for those limitations? Where would we develop courage if it were not for the limitation? So this is just to help you to see that the way it's set up, it's a really good plan. Somebody really had their acts together to make it the way it is. Even if we come into it and we say, man, this sucks. Somebody really screwed up here. Why couldn't they do this where I could just enjoy myself? Why do I have to pay taxes? That's a good question. Okay, now consider other things within this frame of reference that Goethe was presenting. If it weren't for the limitations, how would we really develop an understanding of life? How would we really develop intuition? In other spirals of our current lifetime, different aspects of our personality are experienced, which lead to the awakening of other inner qualities. The game is played in a different way there, and the soul enriches itself by absorbing all of the various outcomes. The existence of parallel worlds, parallel lives, promotes the expansion of awareness. For how long now have we been hearing the object is to wake up, be conscious, be present, so that we can experience what is and experience it with acceptance? So part of our experience here is letting go of our self-imposed limitations so that we can let those filters fall off and begin to actually experience life as it is. So, let's consider this now, that the time spiral can emit certain energies that influence our current human life. Imagine that you left a job so that you could go on and live your dream. Well, your dream is probably going to cause you to also experience fear, uncertainty. It causes you to have to put yourself into a different frame other than the security that you had at your job. You know, you got paid, you had insurance, you had all of that stuff going for you. You say, I'm going to be a painter. Well, guess what? That doesn't necessarily mean anybody's going to buy your paintings. What are you going to do? Take up a second job? Go out and steal things on nighttime? So anyhow, consider now that the other part, the other path that you didn't take, where you were with the job, is going to allow some of that calm, that security, to flow back to you if you have a receptivity to it. Now I'm talking possibilities here to stir you to start considering Opening up instead of living your life from such a linear perspective. That you start allowing the realization that there's more to you that is simultaneously living. That all is working together if you will participate in it from that together awareness. Okay, so we've kind of touched upon this. Is anyone interested?
Yes.
Yeah. Can I see it? Okay. Good. Okay. So now what I want you to do is I want you to go to a situation in your life where you've had this kind of choice to make. It was highly charged. You've made the choice, and you're living the choice, and then also take into account the choice, the alternative that you didn't live, that is being lived by you, that all of you together as soul is benefiting from. Got that? Yeah. Okay, so if everyone will please put everything off your lap. Let's get comfy. Let's get into a receptive state. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to contact those other time spirals. Bring yourself to a calm state by physically relaxing. You may want to begin to breathe deeply, allowing your breath to help you to calm. Then in your mind's eye, go back to that moment in your life where you made that important choice. Let go of all judgments you may have had about that choice. Just see it as two possibilities. One is not any better than the other. Feel at peace with both possibilities. Accept the existence of both. Now with breath, upon exhaling, feel yourself floating up. Look at that moment of choice from above. Try to internally raise yourself to the level of your soul. See that two roads stem from that moment, each with its own experiences. One is the road that you have chosen. The other is the alternative. Focus on the alternative. Feel its energetic charge. What does it radiate? How do you feel there? What experiences are you gathering there? Allow those experiences to be. Say yes to them internally. Feel how those experiences can enrich you and make you stand in life differently. Go into that other time spiral completely for a moment. Look at the energetic exchange between your current time spiral and the alternative time spiral. What can you learn from that other time spiral, and what message do you have for the other time spiral? Engaging in yourself from this perspective can give you clarity. It can give you inspiration. It can give you strength. But it also can make you feel uncomfortable. And if it does, let it go. After all, you're simply choosing to look at another part of you that has always existed. That usually we wait until we drop our bodies to even come close to considering. Where we are right now, life is affording us this marvelous opportunity to consciously awaken and begin to live the more of who we are. Now, if you will, please, open your eyes, come back here. Hi, all. Good to see you back. Thank you. For more information about the Metaphysical Church of Enlightenment or the Rodin Foundation, please go to our website at www.rodin.org. If you have been inspired by the revelations shared in these podcasts, please donate to the Rodin Foundation's ongoing efforts to help others help themselves at www.rodin.org/donate.